Folks, the retail apocalypse isn't just knocking at our door. It's already barged in, and it's tearing through our beloved stores faster than anyone could have predicted. This isn't just about stores closing. It's about the American landscape changing before our eyes, leaving empty storefronts and shattered dreams in its wake. The culprits? Soaring debts, relentless competition, and frankly, some catastrophic mismanagement. Shocking new data shows over 50,000 stores are on the chopping block. Let me tell you, no retailer is safe, not anymore. The cracks are deepening each day, and it's clear. No chain is too big to fail. Today, we're going to expose the truth about the 12 biggest retail chains in America that are teetering on the brink of extinction. Some might not even make it through the next few weeks. Let's start with Express. Remember them? Once the kings of the mall with their sleek ads and polished looks. Well, they're struggling to keep up in a world where fashion moves as fast as a tweet. With online competition squeezing them from one side and a drastic drop in mall foot traffic from the other, they're in a real squeeze. It's tough out there for retailers who can't keep up with the fast-changing tastes of the youth, who, let's face it, jump from one brand to another like it's nothing. And let's talk about the fits, those slim and extra slim cuts. They aren't doing anyone any favors unless you're a mannequin. Plus, their move to outsource manufacturing overseas hasn't exactly set them up for quick pivots when new trends pop up. Financially, they're on thin ice, with debts climbing and vendors tightening the reins on credit. It's a tough scene, and at this rate, Express might just become a memory, another cautionary tale of the retail apocalypse. Now, on to Big Lots. Oh, Big Lots, it looked like they could handle the retail storm, offering everything from furniture to snacks at bargain prices. But folks, they're facing a nightmare. Plunging sales, shrinking margins, and some serious operational blunders have left them gasping for air. They bet big on furniture, but when a major vendor dropped them last year, it left gaping holes in their inventory. Combine that with inflation squeezing their core shoppers' wallets, and you've got a recipe for disaster. Foot traffic is down as people skip the trip to the store, opting instead to shop online where they can find cheaper prices and have everything delivered to their doorstep. Financially, it's bleak. Over $200 million in losses. That's not just a dip, that's a nosedive. If they don't find a way to turn things around or a miracle investor doesn't come along, we might be seeing the last of Big Lots by the end of the year. Folks, we need to talk about Kirkland's. This store was once the treasure trove for anyone looking to spruce up their home with stylish decor. But now, Kirkland's finds itself at a real crossroads in this brutally competitive retail environment. This is a store known for its farmhouse charm and seasonal selections, but it's facing some serious headwinds. Revenue's been dropping, and it's clear that when people tighten those belts, the first thing they cut is the fancy home decor. The company's financials aren't looking great, dipping from over $630 million to just above $550 million in recent years. Despite these significant figures, the cost of leases and labor hasn't dropped to match this decline, folks, which is squeezing them even harder. Now, foot traffic in stores is looking sparse, pushing Kirkland's to close some underperforming locations. What's really shaking up the scene here is the change in consumer taste. People are moving away from that rustic farmhouse vibe to more minimalist modern styles, and Kirkland's, bless their hearts, is struggling to keep up. Their share prices are tanking, and investors? They're running for the hills. A recession on the horizon could just be the final nail in the coffin unless Kirkland's can pull a rabbit out of the hat and really shake up their offerings and supply chain management. Let's move on to Nordstrom. Now, Nordstrom's a name we all know, synonymous with luxury and top-notch customer service. Let me tell you, even this giant isn't immune to the retail apocalypse that's sweeping across our great nation. Last year alone, they saw a staggering 40% drop in sales. That's right, 40%. And now, they're on Moody's Analytics bankruptcy watch list. Think about that, the beacon of American retail luxury possibly going bankrupt. Their attempts to salvage the situation with Nordstrom Rack's lower prices haven't been enough to stop the bleeding in their core high-end markets. Here's the kicker. People are spending less on fancy clothes and accessories. Why? Because credit card debt is skyrocketing, and even the well-off are starting to pinch pennies. Online competition is fierce too, with sites like Amazon offering the same brands but at lower prices. And after they pulled out of Canada completely earlier this year, you've got to wonder how stable they really are. If Nordstrom can't figure out how to draw people back in, maybe by boosting their online presence or slashing prices, well, they might just follow in the footsteps of other once great stores that couldn't adapt to this new retail reality. Now, I've got to ask for a quick favor. If you're finding this discussion enlightening, smash that like button. Your likes and comments not only mean the world to us, they also help more people get informed. And if you haven't already, consider watching the whole video to support our channel. We really value your engagement, and it helps us keep bringing you these deep dives into what's happening around the world. Thank you for being part of our community. Now, let's talk about the Corner Bakery. This place was once a cozy spot you could count on for a hearty breakfast or a fresh sandwich. But folks, the landscape is changing and it's not in their favor. Their broad menu, which tried to be everything to everyone, has left them without a clear identity, getting lost in a fiercely competitive market. They're deep in debt, nearly $34 million, much of it from a deal back in 2017. With the pandemic keeping folks working from home, those bustling city locations saw a big drop in the breakfast and lunch crowds, hitting their bottom line hard. Corner Bakery tried to keep up with digital ordering and delivery, but they're trailing behind the competition. With stores closing and others just limping along, they've had to file for Chapter 11 to try to salvage what they can. This is a chain that might just end up a shadow of its former self, with fewer locations and a stripped-down menu, struggling to survive in a market that shows no mercy. All right, folks, gather around because we've got some real talk about Best Buy. Remember the golden days when we'd stroll through those Best Buy doors, ready to marvel at the latest tech gadgets? Well, those days are fading fast. Best Buy, a giant in the electronics world, is now grappling with the harsh reality that the digital age is more ruthless than ever. With the explosion of online shopping, folks are skipping the store visits and just clicking their way to new gadgets, often finding better deals and reviews online. In response, Best Buy has had to close over 80 stores, and they just announced more closures this year. Despite their efforts to beef up their online game and offer perks like curbside pickup, they're still fighting an uphill battle with thin profit margins and increasing operational costs. Let's face it, when times get tough and a recession looms, people hold off on big-ticket items like the latest smart TV or gaming laptop. And let's not ignore the elephant in the room. Competition from online giants is fierce, forcing Best Buy to slash prices just to keep up. This cutthroat market, alongside the trend of consumers choosing experiences over physical goods, is pushing Best Buy towards a precarious edge. They're betting big on customer service and tech support to draw folks in, but the question remains, will it be enough to save them from becoming just another memory of retail's golden era? Now let's talk about Amazon Go and Amazon Fresh. You might think Amazon is too big to fail, but here's a shocker. Even they can miss the mark. Their futuristic Amazon Go stores, which were supposed to revolutionize how we shop with no cashiers and all tech, haven't pulled in enough customers to keep the lights on. And Amazon Fresh? Their attempt to crack the grocery store market is struggling against established giants who've mastered the art of squeezing every penny in profit. Amazon has had to put the brakes on expanding these stores and is even closing some down. This proves a point. Not every high-tech idea translates to real-world success. Amazon is now pulling back, focusing on their Whole Foods operations, which tells us they're feeling the heat to make their grocery ventures profitable. If Amazon can't make these concepts work, it makes you wonder who can. Let's not forget about Tuesday Morning. This discount retailer, once a treasure trove for bargain hunters, is on the brink of disaster. They've filed for bankruptcy twice in just 3 years. Talk about tough times. Tuesday Morning used to be the go-to place for unique home goods at a steal, but now they're struggling to keep their shelves stocked and their doors open. With fierce competition from other discount stores and online retailers cutting prices even deeper, Tuesday Morning's once loyal customers are finding better deals elsewhere. The pandemic didn't help either, wreaking havoc on their sales and supply chain. Now they're shutting down stores and trying to restructure, but the outlook isn't great. It's a stark reminder that in today's retail environment, adaptability and innovation are key, and sadly, Tuesday morning might just end up a chapter in the history books of American retail. Folks, these stories aren't just isolated incidents. They're alarm bells. They signify a profound shift in how we shop and what we expect from retailers. From Best Buy to Amazon to Tuesday morning, it's clear that the old ways won't cut it anymore. We're witnessing a transformation in retail that's reshaping our economy and our communities. So let's keep our eyes peeled, because what happens next will undoubtedly impact us all. As these giants teeter on the edge, we must ask ourselves, what's the future of retail in an era where convenience, price, and speed reign supreme? Stay tuned, folks, because this story is far from over. All right, folks, let's dive right in and talk about the challenges facing Dollar General. You might think a store like Dollar General would be thriving in tough economic times, right? Wrong. Despite its bargain prices, Dollar General is hitting some serious roadblocks that threaten its very existence. We're talking about a chain with over 19,000 stores nationwide, but it's under fire for failing to keep those stores safe and up to par. The U.S. Department of Labor's Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA, has hit them with a whopping $15 million in fines for serious safety violations. Things like blocked fire exits and cluttered aisles that could be real hazards in an emergency. But it doesn't stop there. Customers are fed up with messy stores and poor service, and in some places the conditions are so bad that local authorities are threatening to shut them down. That's a big deal. And financially, the costs are stacking up. Labor isn't cheap, and making their stores safer isn't either, which eats into their already thin profit margins. Add in the fierce competition from other discount stores like Dollar Tree and Family Dollar, not to mention retail giants like Walmart, and you can see why Dollar General's once rapid expansion is now under threat. In areas where folks are really watching their pennies, even low prices at Dollar General aren't enough to keep them coming back if the shopping experience is lousy. If Dollar General doesn't clean up its act fast, it could be facing a total collapse. Trust me, folks, even the big players in discount retail are finding out the hard way that they're not immune to the retail apocalypse. Now, shifting gears to a retailer that's all about the kiddos, the children's place. This was once the go-to spot for colorful, fun kids' clothes at the mall. But oh, how times have changed. Their recent financial reports? Not looking good, folks. They've seen a sharp drop in sales, more than 10% year over year, which is huge. Why? Because parents are tightening those belts and turning to cheaper options online or at big box stores like Target and Walmart. The pandemic really knocked the wind out of their sales, forcing the Children's Place to close hundreds of stores. They've tried to boost their online presence, but let's be real. The costs of shipping and handling are high, and with disruptions in the global supply chain, especially for materials like cotton, prices are climbing. The competition is fierce, and with more parents comfortable shopping from their couch rather than heading to the malls, many of the Children's Place's stores are turning into ghost towns. This is a critical moment for them. They need to make some big changes, maybe even reinvent their product lines or find new partnerships, or they're going to disappear from the retail landscape. The clock is ticking, and they don't have long to turn things around. All right, let's dive into the tale of Party City, a place that once buzzed with the sound of celebration. This giant in the party supply industry used to be where you'd head for every occasion, from balloons to spooky Halloween costumes and cheerful wedding decorations. But folks, the music has stopped. The pandemic crashed the party hard, decimating in-person gatherings and drying up Party City's main income stream faster than you can say party's over. As the world started to open back up, Party City found itself struggling to bring back the crowds. They're losing ground to online giants and big-box stores, which offer cheaper options right from the comfort of your couch. The numbers are grim. They're bleeding cash, filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, and shuttering stores across the country. Supply chain issues have jacked up prices on their goods, and they've even been hit by a helium shortage, making it tough to keep those balloons flying off the shelves. Despite some efforts to beef up their online presence during the pandemic, Party City lagged far behind competitors who made digital shopping a breeze. Now, with a large-scale liquidation underway, longtime customers might just be grabbing last-minute bargains before it's all over. This collapse serves as a stark warning: adapt quickly, or the market will leave you behind. Switching gears, let's talk about Bed Bath & Beyond. This once-beloved retailer, famous for its 20% off coupons and a treasure trove of home goods, is now a textbook case of how not to run a retail business. Their decline is not just sad, it's dramatic. Missteps like over-investing in private labels that no one wanted and failing to keep shelves stocked have knocked the wind out of their sales. As the supply chain stumbled, their shelves emptied, and competitors like Target and Amazon were there to scoop up their frustrated customers. Now they're in the throes of a bankruptcy that's seeing them close every single one of their core stores, alongside their Bye-Bye Baby locations. It's a fire sale down there, folks, with scenes that remind us of the final days of Toys R Us. All this chaos has led to staggering losses for investors who once believed a meme stock miracle might save the day. Bed Bath & Beyond's collapse underscores a brutal truth in today's retail world: innovate or die. No retailer, no matter how cherished, can rest on its laurels in this fast-evolving market. As we see giants like Party City and Bed Bath & Beyond fall, it's clear that this retail apocalypse is sparing no one. It's reshaping how we shop and signaling a seismic shift in consumer behavior. So to all you shoppers out there, if your favorite store is on the brink, maybe it's time for one last visit before the doors shut for good. And remember, folks, in this retail game, it's not just about who might fall next. It's about understanding why they fell and how others might avoid the same fate. Stay informed, because this isn't just the end of an era. It's a transformation of the retail landscape as we know it.